Well, hello everybody, hope you are doing well. In today's video, we are going to finish implementing our add age view and we will focus on our date picker pop-up. So hope you find this exciting and let's start coding. Okay, and first thing we want to do is have a variable that contains our selected date. So in view model, I want a selected date. So var selected the date, it will be of type date and by default equal to date, which is the current date. Okay, that's the first thing I want to do. The second thing I want to do is start implementing my view. So as you can see, this is an A stack and it contains 3 pickers. So I will have an A stack that has a spacing of 20, and inside this A stack I want to have my first picker. So picker for title key it will be day. For selection, okay, many of you will say let's use the selected date. But the problem is that, for example, let's say I make it 8 August and click on cancel. I don't want my selected date to change, so I need a temporary date. So in my view model, I need here to have var temporary date. It will be of type date and by default equal to date. So that way, if I decide in the end to click on cancel, I didn't change my selected date. So here it will be $view model dot temporary date. And now let's go to the content. Okay, as you can see, this is clearly a for each where you got a text. So usually you got 30 or 31 days in a month. So let's do it that way. So for each 1 to 32, later we can check if the date is correct or not, but for now let's 1 until it's less than 32 id dot slash dot self, and this will return an integer that is called day, and we can display this. So text, it will be a string with format. I wanted to only display with arguments, so I wanted to only display 2 digitals. So for example, if it's 8, I don't want to write just 8, I want to write 08, which is, that's why I will write for format will be percentage 0 to D, and for arguments of course I will give it day. Okay, perfect. I should be able to see it. So if I click on it, as you can see, I got my picker, which is beautiful. But of course, I don't want it to look this way. So in my overall picker, I will give it a picker style of dot wheel. And I'm going to give it a frame with width of 60. And I will make it dot clip it. Okay, and now on my entire A stack, I will give it a background of dot white so we can see it. Okay, because this way it's really difficult to see it. Okay, perfect, and as you can see, and if you see when I try to change it, for example, to 6, it returns always to the same value that is 1. Okay, and to do this, the problem is you need to assign the new value. And one of the issue we got here, okay, is for example, if I change now the date to 10, I want my temporary date to still have the same month, that is August, and still have the same year. I want only to change the day. So in other words, I need the new date or my temporary date to get the new day, but in the same time to still have the same month and the still same year. To achieve this, I need to create a new function in my view model. Okay, and I'm going to call it a day component. Okay, function day components. And it will take day as integer, and it is going to return to me a date. Okay, so in other words, I wanted to return to me a date that contains, if I change for example to 12, I wanted to contain still the same month, the same year, but only the day will change. Okay, so I need the old values, and to first thing I need a calendar, so the current calendar, so let calendar, it will be equal to calendar.current, and here I'm going to use it, so it will be calendar.date from, and it takes a date component, so date component, and I'm going to use year, month and day. Okay, perfect so far. For day, of course, I will give it the new day, so the value I just got. For year, I want the old year, so it will be calendar.component, and it will be .year from my temporary date. So this way I keep the current year. So for example here, if I got for year 1999, the fact that I changed the day, I'm changing the day, but I'm still taking the old year from my temporary date, which is perfect. I also need to do the same for month, so I need calendar.component.month and take the current month from my temporary date. So that way, with this function, I'm changing the day, but I'm still keeping the same month and same year. And of course, because this is optional, if it doesn't, if it's nil, it will return date, the current date. Okay, perfect. Now to assign the new day in my text, I need to do .tag. This is how we assign a new day. So tag, and we will use our new function. So view model .date component, and we give it the current day. Okay, and this should be all to be able to change the day. So now if I change the day to 9, for example, it stays at 9, which is perfect so far. That's all we wanted so far. Now the second step, I want to do the month. Okay, and one of the things we need to keep in mind when trying to make the months is, as you can see in every one, you see October, it's written OCT, so 3 letters. In every one, it's only written 3 letters. July, it's only 3 letters. To achieve this, we got something predefined in Swift. So we need something called, okay, let months equal calendar.current, and it's called .short month symbol. It returns a list of short and named months in this calendar. Okay, it will return all of them with 3 letters, which is just like we got it here. Okay, perfect. Now the second thing I want to do, I need also something like this, a day component that takes month and returns a date. So in other words, I will copy this, I will paste it, and instead of day, I will pass month. And now for day here, it will be I want to keep the old day, so it will be calendar dot component. It will be dot day and from temporary date. And for month, I'm going to give it the current month, the integer that we will be passing. Okay, perfect so far. Okay, now I need the picker, so here I'm going to copy this. And of course we can make it then a reusable component, but for now let's just copy it. It will be month. I will make it 1 to 13 because you know we got 12 months in total. Okay, and instead of text string this one, it will be view model dot, and we will use the one we created, so months, and we will give it the current month. Okay, and I think okay, it needs to be a month, not a day, of course, and we will use our view model dot day component, and we give it month. Now this way hopefully everything will be working perfectly, and as you can see the preview crashed, and I think I know why. Okay, for months it got 12, so it's index out of box, it should be 0 to 12 I think, and here instead of passing month we can pass month plus 1. So now if I refresh, hopefully it will be working. Okay, which is perfect, because as you know in an array it starts with 0 not 1, so this way it works perfectly. Okay, the second thing I want to do is give it a width of 80. Okay, which is very good, I think. Okay, and the third thing, we need one for year. So first thing, let's go to our view model. And like we did for day and month, this time we want month to stay the same, day to stay the same, and year to take the year. So here we can add another function, and again we can make a reusable function then that uses that works for the three of them, but for now let's make it to keep it simpler. We pass year, and for month I want it to stay the same, so it will be calendar dot component, it will be dot month, and from our temporary date, and for year I want to pass the new year. Okay, perfect. Now if I go back here, I can again copy the speaker, and again we can also make a reusable component, to be honest. Okay, we pass year. Okay, and okay, let's delete for the view model it will be dot day component of year, and we will pass year, and instead of month it will be year. And for text we will display string of year. Okay, perfect so far, I think. Okay, but I want in year, as you can see, we start with I think 2025, and it can returns to even the 900. So let's create a variable that contains all the available years. So it will be an array of integers. So it's very simple. So let's add a variable that we can call available years. It will be an array of integer, and here we are going to return an array. Okay, and this array will contain let's say from the 900 to 2025. Of course we can, I don't think someone leave it this long, so we can even make it 1950 or 1940, but let's make it for the 900 for now, and let's make a dot reverse so that when it appears it starts with 2025. And for available I wrote it this way. Okay, so now I give it for each, and I give it available years, or view model dot available years. I apologize. View model dot. Okay, it's lowercase. I apologize again. View model dot available years, and now hopefully everything will be working perfectly. Okay, perfect. I think it looks beautiful. Okay, after that, as you can see, we got these two buttons. It's clearly an A stack. So after this A stack, I will think it's a V stack. Yes, my A stack. And for the background dot white, I want to apply it on the entire V stack, not only the A stack. So this one is more correct, and then I will fold my A stack. And now I'm going to create another A stack that contains these two buttons, so a spacer, then these two buttons. So it will be an A stack with a spacing of 30. And here we got first a spacer. Okay, and to avoid this, let's give the entire V stack a little bit of padding of dot horizontal. Of 20, so it doesn't go all the way. Okay, this way it looks a lot better. After that, we got first a button, let's call it cancel. Okay, and if you click on the cancel button, the only thing that happens is we dismiss the view, and to dismiss it you need view model dot is presented to be equal false. And so that it works, I need also this one to not be displayed when is presented is equal to false. So I need to add dot opacity, and here if view model dot is presented is equal to true, in that case it will be 1, else it's 0, so it doesn't appear. Okay, perfect. So now if I click on cancel, as you can see, it disappears. If I click again, it appears. Okay, perfect so far. After that, we got a button that is okay. So button okay, and here we got two things we want to do. If we click on OK, I want the selected date to get the content in my temporary date. So view model dot selected date, it will be equal to view model dot the other one, which is temporary date. And then I want to dismiss this, so view model dot is presented, it will be equal to false. Okay, perfect so far. For my A stack, I think I gave it a foreground style of black. Okay, and I'm also going to give it a padding of 30, so it looks more similar to the one we got here. Okay, perfect so far. Now to my entire view, as you can see, we got a little bit of corner radius, so here I'm going to give it a dot clip shape of rounded rectangle with a corner radius of 12. Okay, perfect. And as you can see here, when it disappears, it doesn't look, it looks a lot nicer than the one here, so I want to handle this by adding an animation, so dot animation, and it will be dot spring, and I think with a value of a view model dot is presented, and we will also give it a scale effect, so it looks a lot better. So with view model dot is presented equal to true, in that case it will be 1, else it will be 0.5. Okay, now it looks a lot better, but one of the issue we got, for example, if I put May, I don't know, 2018, 8 May 2008, and click on OK, the value is not changing. And the reason behind this, if we go to our VStack, currently we are displaying this text, 8 July 2020. Okay, we should be displaying our selected date, so in other words, I don't want to display this. I need view model dot okay, I don't know why it's not okay, view model dot selected date, and for some reason the auto completion is not working, so okay, dot formatted with date of dot long and time of dot omitted, and I'm really not sure why auto completion is not working. So now if I choose 8 May 2019, I click OK, as you can see it is displayed here, which is perfect. So now if I go, for example, and try it from my add name view, for example, hopefully everything will be working perfectly. So let's wait for it, and hopefully it doesn't stay a long time to refresh. Okay, so let's say, what's your name? Let's give it Ted. Click on next. Hi Ted, enter your date of birth. Let's say 10 July 2011. Okay, perfect. I click on it, it appears 10 July 2011, which is perfect. The last thing I want to do is make it a reusable component. So on the entire Zig stack, I will do extract subview, then I will do refactor rename, okay, and for some reason it didn't work, so refactor rename, let's retry. Okay, perfect. Date picker popup, I'm going to call it, and in my date picker popup I'm going to pass add bindable private var view model of type login view model you can then pass the view model via an initializer, so self.viewModel equal bindable wrapped value of view model, and then here in my date picker popup I need to pass the view model, and that's all. Everything should be working perfectly like we left it before, so just to be sure that everything is working. And okay, it appears by default. I can change it. 11 July 2018. It is okay. It's working perfectly, just the way we wanted. So hope you find today's video. I hope you like it. If you did, please like and subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.